Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Nick Basson, Learning Technology Specialist from Academy's Enterprise Trust. I'm also one of the lead innovators at AET. Thank you for joining us today for this innovator session on the basics of using Google Sites. We have designed this session to support you as part of the Lee Forest and AET EdTech demonstrator program, and we really hope that this session will cover all you need to get started with using Google Sites in your school. If you're watching live, please introduce yourself in the chat on the right-hand side of the video. Share where you're from and what stage you work in, and post any questions that you may have. We will do our best to answer as many as possible. As I mentioned, in the session we will focus on Google Sites. This will include applying a theme to a Google site, adding content to a page, and managing the pages and navigation. So everything you need to get started and start building your site. So let's get started. I put this presentation together just so that I can explain each area of Google Sites, and then I'll do a little bit of demoing after so that you can see exactly what's what and how to access everything. But first of all, I just wanted to let you know why I think and why we think Google Sites is one of the best platforms to create websites and intranets. First of all, as long as you have a Google account, you can access Google Sites and it's completely free to use. The only thing you will need to possibly pay for is a domain name, but obviously that's a separate thing. It's very easy to content manage, which is one of the key things which we chose the platform. You don't have to be a coding expert to be able to put a really nice site together. So it's all completely intuitive and user friendly. Mobile responsiveness, obviously. So most of our traffic, I think it goes for the world now, all traffic comes through mobile devices such as tablets and mobile phones. So I think that's really important to make sure our sites are accessible via those devices. Beautiful design, so it looks very slick, modern, and it's hosted on Google servers. So you couldn't really ask for a better host for your website. You're almost guaranteed 100% uptime. And just in the bottom down, I've just mentioned that obviously when you think of Google Sites, you might just think websites, but from Academy's Enterprise Trust point of view, we've used it for intranets, so our internal communication system, and most recently VLEs, with obviously the current state of the world at the moment. Virtual learning environments have been the key to continuing our children's education. So yeah, we've done a lot of live lessons and built sites to show that. So the first thing, which is obviously an important start to using Google Sites, is where can we find it? So you can access it via the Google Apps Grid, which I'll show you in a second. This URL, and also there's a shortcut to opening a blank site from scratch. So if we just head out of the presentation, so if we go to google.com, I'm signed in already. So if you haven't, then there'll be a sign in button here where you can sign in, and then you will see this 9 grid square icon here. So the Google Apps Grid, as I've heard it called. If you click on that, you will see sites listed somewhere in this list. For me, it's here, but for you, it could be a little bit further down the list. And just one thing to mention, that this list is completely customizable. So you can click and drag into a position. So I'd probably put it up there because I'm quite a big user of sites, and I support with that system quite a lot across our academies. So to access the sites, obviously you click on that icon. At first, it will take you to this screen, but just to mention, this is to access classic Google Sites, which is going to no longer be used very soon. So just quickly hit New Google Sites on the left-hand side, and this will take you into the area where you want to be to access all sites which you have built, and also to take you to the area where you can start a new site from scratch, or you can also pick one of these templates to choose from as well. But we'll start from blank in a minute, and then we'll work through it together. So the other way which you can access sites is through this link up here, which will take you straight to this page. So if we go back again, open a new tab. sites.google.com/new. And there you go, you get taken directly to this page. And just one thing to mention, actually, you can also access your Google Sites, which you've built through Google Drive, as that's a storage area for sites as well. So if I close this, and then the last one was just to go to sites.new, and if you hit enter after typing that in the address bar or the Omni box, this will load a brand new Google site from scratch, the blank version. And it also could pop up an option here for you to visit the template gallery, so you can pick a template for this. So you can choose what you seem appropriate for your site. So that's the first key thing to note, how to access the sites. So the first thing which I normally do is choose a theme for your website. And obviously with a theme, you can choose the overall website theme, set the text font, and also set the color scheme, and that will flow throughout the whole of the website. So anything you do here, whenever you create a new page, that page will inherit the theme that you've set from the beginning. So let's head out and I'll show you where to access this. So this is the edit area here, where you can see a preview of how the page will look. And then on the right hand side, you'll see insert pages and themes. So we're going to head into themes, and then Google gives you a nice few themes to choose from. So you have simple, Aristotle, diplomat, vision, level, and impression. So they've all got they all give your website a different feel depending on which theme that you would set it to. So if I just pick vision, and then once you select one, then you can choose the color. So at the moment you'll notice that this banner at the top where your navigation will be is blue, but if you choose red or pink, my eyesight's not great, or purple or green, this will remain the color at the top each time you create a new page. And then you can also choose more by clicking the little can option at the end, and then just select. So it's very, very flexible in terms of the colors you can choose from. Let's click off of that. And then you can choose the font as well. So you can have it bold, modern, and you'll see this change in real time, or classic. I'm just going to stick to bold at the moment because I think that looks quite fresh. And yeah, and then as we create more pages throughout this session, then you'll see this theme will just remain. And just one more thing that the theme does. So if we create a text box here, I'll show you how to do this in a minute, but I'm just going to show you what else the theme does. It'll give you these. These will also change in accordance with the theme. So go back into present mode. So that's applying a theme to your site. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the header versus the footer. So with the header area, this changes made to the header area are not global, they're specific to that page. So if you made any changes and you had, if you've got a few pages on your site and then you made change to the header area on one page, that would not affect all other pages. You'd need to go to each page and then make the same change to each header area for it to remain consistent. But I think it's nice to not have a global header because you can make a really unique, give a really unique and different feel to each page. So if you've got a page specific to your schools, then you can have a header relating to that page. Or if you had contact us page, and you can give a different header and give that page a different feel too. The footer area is quite different, as this is global. Anything you make, any change you make to the footer, this will affect the whole site. So if you had an accreditation in the footer and then you remove that, that would be removed from all footers, from all pages. So let's just head into the site again, and I'll let you know how we can make changes to the header. So by default, this will be the header area size, but you can If you hover over the header area, you can click on header type, and it will give you a few different options to choose from. You can have cover, which is a very large size, and I think this is is used quite a bit from websites from what I've seen these days. You can have a large banner, which is slightly smaller than cover. You can have banner, which is average size, or you can have title only, so you can choose just to have the title. You can also delete the header completely if you are, for example, creating, I don't know, like an ebook, for example. You can use sites to create an ebook, and you can have the front cover on the front page, and you don't need to have a header on all the other pages. That will just be text. So let's add that header back in. So you might not want this image that Google's given us by default. So hover over the header area again, select change image. You can either upload from your computer, or you can select an image. So you can choose a variety of images which Google's given us to select from here. If you know the URL of an image, you can paste that in there and select that. You can search Google. So I don't know if you wanted to type in classroom. That will use Google search to bring up a selection of images to choose from. So your albums, so anything that I have saved in my gallery, or you can search your drive as well. I'm going to go back to, where should I go to? Let's head back and just select one which Google's given us. Select that, and that will change. And you'll notice here it will say adjust for readability. So to make sure that the text which is layered over the front of the header area comes through and is nice and easy to read for our viewers, this will change. So you can remove that, but we'll keep that in for accessibility reasons. And you also got a reset button after this appears. If you wanted to reset that back to normal, you can hit that. So I'm going to go and get the other image back in. So I thought that was quite nice. There we go. Let's delete this. And then the footer area. By default, the footer area will not be added. Google will have this little bit at the bottom. As soon as you hover into the content area, you will see add footer at the bottom with the plus icon. So you can click on that, and then the footer will pop up. And then you'll be given a text box by default. So you can have telephone number. And then you can make it a different color so that it stands out. And obviously you can use this for contact details or accreditations or any like sort of quick links that you want to make accessible on every single page. So I think that's very, very nice. And you can also delete it by hitting that button, the little bin option there, and then add it back in again. It will always appear down there if you accidentally remove it. So that's the header and the footer. Let's head back into the presentation again. Next up, we'll talk about adding the content, which will be the most important thing for using Google Sites, because with Google, there's so many different options that you can use to add content to it. And obviously it integrates very well with the other Google services which it provides. So got the content area here. We built our header. We can edit the footer. So on the right hand side again, you have insert, and under the insert option, you have the list of options which you can use to add and edit content. So let's just go through these one by one. We have the text box. So if you click on text box, it will bring up a text box in the content area. So let's just type in welcome to our website, exclamation mark. And then with the text box, you're given these formatting options. So if first of all you have normal text, by clicking on normal text, it will bring up the other like font sizes which you can use. So as it's a heading, we're going to use title, but if you wanted to change that again, it will just automatically resize according to which you select. I'm going to use title for a minute. Bold, italic, select which you prefer. And then here, this will allow you to select how you want the text aligned. So I would choose central, but obviously you have left, center, right, and the last one, which I think it makes the text compress evenly. So click back into that again. You can also choose to highlight this piece of text by double clicking on it or dragging your mouse across, and then you can select insert link. So if you wanted this to link to another page, for example, or an external website, you could link it. So for example, you could type in www.google.co.uk. You'd hit the apply button, and then once this goes live, this will take users to Google's homepage every time you click on it. So it's quite a useful feature if that's one way you wanted to link to internal and external sites or documents. Oh yeah, so you can clear formatting as well. So I just reset it to how it was at the beginning. And also you can delete title as well, but we're going to keep that back in. Into our website. And then just watch how I'm doing this again. Central, title, and then we'll leave it unlinked because there's no point linking that. So the next is images. If you hit the image button, insert again, right hand side, you can either upload from your desktop or computer, or you can hit select. And again, this will allow you to select from your Google Drive by URL, just by clicking these four options at the top, Google Images or Photos. So if we wanted to type in sunset, Google will return some nice sunsets here. Insert, and then the image will be displayed. It could be displayed anywhere, but most of the time it will display under the last item on your website. And then once it's inserted, you'll notice there's these little circular blue shapes around the image. So if you wanted to use them to drag that into a different size, you can have it as big as you want or as small as you want. And if you wanted to maintain the actual image size, you'll see these options appear in the top left hand corner. So you can crop it, so it should allow you to drag this picture up and down until the part of the image is in the right area. Or you can hit uncrop, and that will just make the image full size once again. And as shown with the text, you can hit insert link, and you can link that to a website as well, so google.co.uk. Hit apply, and you'll know that's linked because that will come up in the bottom left hand corner, and you can choose to remove that as well by hitting the bin icon. And then you can hit the bin icon on the picture as well to delete that. So we'll get that back just so that we've got some sort of content on our page. Sunset again. Select the picture and then insert. So that's our first image added to the site. You have the embed feature. So if you hit embed, you can choose to embed third-party widgets such as Twitter and Facebook, but we'll mention that later on down the line if interested, because this is a basic session. So if you wanted to know anything else, then you can always contact us directly, or yeah, I'm sure we'll arrange a more advanced session later down the line. And then you have Drive, which is really closely integrated with Google Sites, with both of them being Google products. So if you hit Drive, this will take you to your Drive by default, and then you can select one of the folders, and you can choose to embed this. So if I wanted to embed this presentation, for example, you'd click on it, and then it'll say one selected, then you click insert. Wait for that to load, that's it. Yeah, and anything you choose from your drive to insert into the page, that will appear under the last piece of content. And again, you have the blue circular shapes to drag it into size. And then you also have the pop-out option, so you can, if you wanted to, you can open this in a new tab, and then you have the settings here, so you can choose. So as this is a presentation, for example, you can choose to auto start that upon someone visiting the page, playback, delay time, and then you can choose which slide you want it to start on. So they're all really useful options. So that's Google Slides, which is, if you're not aware of Google Slides, this is Google's version of Microsoft PowerPoint. So I'm sure that we'll have a session on that down the line as well, which you can learn more about. So don't worry too much if you're a bit confused about that at the moment. I'm just going to drag that in the middle. So that's our first piece of embedded content from Drive. And then we have the layouts, which is, I think that's been introduced over the last year or so. So you have a selection of layouts to choose from, rather than having to drag all this into position for you, because it doesn't take loads of time, but it is a little bit of a time saver. So if we click on this one here, so there's a 2-column layout, you can add an image add an image or something from Drive by clicking on the plus button. So let's go select image. Go to Google Images again, trees. To insert this, select the image, insert, and then that should appear in here. Aha, there we go. It's just a little bit of delay on that, maybe because it's quite a high resolution image. And then you can do the same here. Let's select a document this time. So click on the plus button, click from Drive, and then select insert. And there might be a bit of a delay time as well while it renders it into that shape. There we go. Then with this layout, you get text boxes underneath, and you can put trees or presentation, and then you've got an extra text box underneath if you wanted to explain a little bit more about what this document or image is showing. But if you didn't want to, you can remove from the layout too. So click into the text box or image, and then you can delete as appropriate. That's one way to set up your pages nice and quickly, and you have this one will be an image or a document and a right side text, and just a variety of different ones for you to choose from. Next up, we have the collapsible text option, which is personally, I think, has been one of the best additions to Google Sites very recently. It creates a concertina which allows you to click drop down arrow, which will drop out the text, and then you can close it up again. So, and obviously with this collapsible text option, it does save a lot of space on the page. So rather than have pages of text, you can condense this into a collapsible text box, and then users can view the contents when they click the arrow. So let's show you what this looks like. So select it and insert on the right hand side again. So this first box here, this will be the text which is displayed all the time. So next to the drop down arrow. So let's type in more information, and then in here we'll just type simply hello. And as you can see, that wraps up into that when it disappears. I'll show you about the preview features soon, but I'm just going to quickly show you what this looks like as in live mode. So we have our content, and then at the bottom we have our collapsible text. Just a nice little feature to tidy up a web page and reduce the page size. Next up, we have table of contents. So if we click on that, this has decided to appear at the top. So this will put everything that you've got so far into a nice contents feature. So if we go into preview mode again, click on, I don't think they're linked up. Oh, it's not available in preview mode, but it will be available in live mode. So that's just a nice way to add contents to your table of contents to your site. We'll delete that later because we don't need that. You have the image carousel, which is nice to have if you want to show like a slideshow of images. So we select a couple of images. Let's just do something we've already done. Let's do sunset. And obviously you need to add more than one image for this to work as well. So sunset, and let's add another one as well. And of course you can do this by URL again. Photos and Google Drive, you can select one of those to choose your image from, wherever you have it stored. Just choose that one, insert it. Insert would always be in the bottom right hand corner, so let's select that. We've chosen our images. And then if we hit settings, oh, yep, we don't need anything else. So then if we go back into preview mode to see how this image carousel will look. There we go. And then users have the option to hit next, and they'll view all images that you've inserted into the image carousel. And obviously you can make this as big as you want, so it doesn't have to remain that size. As with all things that you insert, you can drag these little blue circular shapes and drag that down so you can see the whole image. And then that can work as a banner, I suppose. You could have that at the top, and it could have loads of pictures of your school, for example. So it's a very nice slick feature added by Google recently. You have buttons, so instead of like going off at the third-party app and creating a button for your site, you can do this nice and quickly. So you'd type in the name of the button here, so About Us. If you had an About Us page, then you select the About Us page from this list, or you could paste a link in there, then insert. But we just going to, as we have no pages at the moment, we'll just use google.co.uk. So then by default, that will inherit the theme. If you notice that color, go back to our themes, we did choose that color. And then if you go into preview mode, this button will take us to the Google site. So that's a really quick and easy way of creating quick links, or an extra way of navigating users around your website. Now I'm just going to run through these very quickly because some of these are a little bit more advanced and stuff. So a divider, so if you wanted to divide certain parts of content on a page, you'd hit that and that would put a nice line in. Placeholder, so as we saw here, they did image placeholders, so you can add that into the site as well. Cloud search, YouTube, which is obviously another Google product. You can search for YouTube video and add that in, and that would embed into the site nicely, so then users can actually watch that video through your site rather than going off to YouTube and having to click play. They can watch it directly through that page on your site. Then you can embed calendar, a Google map, which is always useful for a contact us page, for example, which is what most of our academies use the contact us page for, is for adding that map, so it helps users find your school nice and quickly. And then we have docs, slides, sheets. So as we saw with slides, you can embed that into your site here and allow that to automatically start, and I'm sure you'll learn about these. I think it's next week's session is docs, slides and sheets, so you'll learn a bit more about those there, but anything that you see there will be able to be embedded. And also forms, which is another useful Google product. So you can create quizzes and surveys, and you can embed a form onto the page, and then that will allow users to fill out a form and submit questions or queries or take part in a quiz directly through your website. And then we have charts, which is from Sheets as well, so you can embed a specific chart if you wanted to show off some data onto your website. So that is the content. I think that's all for content. Just one more thing to note, actually. If you double click into a white space, you'll notice that this edit toolbar appears, a circular wheel. It's just another way to access the most common areas of editing. So you'll have images, upload, insert something from Drive, embed a widget, or text, which is probably the most used option for adding content to your site. So if we just leave the adding content there and go back to our presentation. Managing pages. So there's quite a few things you can do, and I think it's quite easy compared to other systems which I've used before in terms of managing pages and structuring your website. So obviously I'll show you in a minute, but the pages options in between insert and themes. You can create a new page, delete a page, move a page, duplicate a page, and rename a page, amongst other things. So let's head out of the presentation and go back into our site. So scroll up to the top of our website. If you look on the right-hand side, as mentioned, there's pages. So by default, you've got the home page as obviously that's the starting point for building our site. And then at the bottom, you'll see this little plus icon. If you hover over it, you'll have a new page option appear or a new link. So you can create a new page, which will obviously create a new internal page on your site, or you can hit new link, which you can hit, and then you can call this Google, for example, and then under link, you can link that to the Google homepage. And if we do open a new tab, as we don't want users to get taken away from our website when going to someone external, that will be listed there. And then every time a user clicks on that, they'll get taken to the Google homepage. So let's hover over this plus again, then you'll get new page. So let's call this, actually let's call this contact us. So type in the name of the page there. Advanced options, which you don't need to worry about, that's something later on. Then just, so once you typed in the name, click done. And then underneath the home page, you'll see the contact us page, and then Google will take us to that page automatically. And obviously you'll see it listed here as well. So the navigation bar at the top will include the new page that you just added. You don't have to have it listed here, of course, and I'll show you why. If you hit on, hover over the contact us page, which is added on the right-hand side, you'll see 3 dots. Click on those, and then you can hide this from the navigation. So it's still a page which is there, and you could do this for many reasons. One, it could be that you want this, you want to work on this in the background before you want to make it live, so you can hide it until you're ready, and then you can go back and then show in navigation. Or you might just not want to have it up there. You might just want to have a text link or a button link, which I showed you previously, and you might want to link to that rather than having to have it appear in the top navigation bar. So there's some other options when you click on the 3 dots. So again, hover over the page you want to manage, click on the 3 dots, and then you could set this as a home page if you wanted to not have the original home page as home page anymore. You can set that. You can duplicate the page, so this will make a copy and place it under. If there's similar pages, then it's an easy way of just recreating that page. Properties, which you can rename your page. What else is there? There is add a sub page, which I'll show you in a minute. Hide from navigation, which we've just talked about, or you can delete the page. So hit on that and it will remove it. So to add a sub page, you can either go here, or you might want to go down. You might just find it easier just to go to new page at the bottom and then drag it under. But let's do that actually. Go here and then we want to put a page called map underneath contact us. And then you can click, drag it, and then that will list under contact us. And you can see that there. Every time we hover over contact us, you get another page called map. And again, you don't need to have that shown in a drop down if you don't like drop down menus, obviously, because it's very difficult to control on mobile devices. You can go back, you can unpack contact us using the little drop down menu here, and you can hide from navigation. So contact us will still be there, but the map that'll either be worked on in the background if you've hidden it, or it will be accessible through another button which you've created on the contact us page. But again, you might want it as a separate page if this is something else, so you can just drag it in between pages. So drag on top for a sub page, or drag in between to have it listed as a separate entity. So show navigation, and that will move where we move it along the right hand side. So that's all you really need to know about navigation to get started. New page, new link, and drag and move, and use the three dots here to get to all the other options. Let's head back into the presentation. Just a few more areas I want to go through. So preview mode, which is what I've been using quite a bit to show you how the website is looking so far. So with preview mode, you can check to see how the website displays on a phone, tablet, or computer. So obviously this is to ensure that the website is user-friendly and accessible on all the devices. As I mentioned earlier, a majority of traffic is through mobile devices today. So it's quite important that we make everything nice and easy to navigate and use on our websites or intranets or virtual learning platforms, whatever you choose to create. Let's go back. So this option will lie in the top edit bar here. So we've got undo, redo, and then preview. So let's go back to our home page where the most content is, what we want to view. So hit the preview button, and then in the bottom right hand corner you have the options where you can select a device to choose from. So you have phone, tablet, and then large screen, so desktop computers, etc. So that's what this is how it would be displayed on the desktop so far. So if we hit tablet, so it renders it quite nicely. It brings the title in, and it squeezes these under one another so that we can see this nice and easily. And then mobile phone, again, it renders it all under one another and provides a nice, neat layout for us if we're viewing it on a phone. And you'll see the three lines in the top, because you'll notice that the navigation bar's gone. Click on the three lines here, and we can select all our pages. So it hasn't disappeared. If you click the three lines, this is how Google will display the website on a mobile device, which is really nice and slick. So a bit like an app. So, and then we can head out of preview mode by clicking the X. That'll take us here. So let's go back into our presentation. Just to mention the settings and publish as well, as publish will be quite a key thing that you'll need to remember for making changes go live. But first I'll walk through the settings. Again, the toolbar at the top, settings, little cog icon here. So navigation, this is where you can choose where you want the navigation displayed. So you can have it either at the top or at the side. So if you don't want the navigation to appear at the top of the site, you can have it appear down the side. You can have navigation transparent, white, or black. So whatever you want to choose, I just leave it like that by default as we chose a theme in that fits into the theme. Search settings, so this site or organization content, but we'll keep it to this site because anything that a user will search will probably be they want to find on that site, so we'll keep that set to that. Brand images, so you can upload a logo or a fave icon. Obviously the fave icon will appear up here on the tab that's open. Viewer tools, which is anchor links, etc. Analytics, so if you've got if you're familiar with Google Analytics, you can put a tracking ID here and you can then see the page bounce rates or how many people visited the page in a certain day, week or month. And then an announcement banner, which is another new feature. This is quite useful because especially with COVID-19, etc., you might want an announcement for your school at the top, which says like school closed now. So you can add in an announcement banner and then that will appear at the top of every page. So people are aware of anything that they need to be notified by. And then we'll head out of that. And as mentioned as well, always in the top right hand corner, you will have the publish button. So anytime you're happy with your changes that you've made and you want to make them live, you will hit the publish button in the top right hand corner. Let's click on that. At first, you'll have to publish the site. So just quickly, I did forget to mention this at the beginning, but top left hand corner, you can name your site. So I'm going to call this demo. So then when we go to hit the publish button in the top right hand corner, by default, the address will be demo. So I'm going to just keep that as it is. You might have a name of academy, or you could have like sixth form, and then that would appear in here if you set the site title to that. So let's just hit publish, and that's going to publish this site for us. So you can either choose to view that there, or you can hit that, and then you can hit the little drop down arrow next to publish, and then you can view the published site there, and this will take us to our site. And that's what everyone will see. Whoever has this link up here, if you send that to them, that's what they'll see now until you make another change. So you might want to add another couple of exclamation marks there. Then if you hit publish in the top right hand corner again, this will bring out the draft version of what you want to be, what you want to publish and what is currently published. So you'll see the change that we made, the couple of exclamation marks we've added. So that's what's there before and what's going to be there once we hit publish. So just to make sure we're happy with our changes, hit publish, get rid of this page. So you can hit view down there to view the site. We can hit the drop down arrow and view published site. And there you go. The extra exclamation marks, that's what we can all see. So yes, that is all from today. I hope that's been quite a useful guide through Google Sites. Please let me know if I haven't covered anything that you want to know about, but yeah, I hope it's been useful, and hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out other innovator sessions throughout the summer. And join us again next week for Google Docs, Sheets and Slides 101. Thank you.